Hello, it's Brian from Tech Buzz Ireland. Today we have the Weblock electronic smart lock cylinder with keypad PCB 41. I suppose the first thing to notice is the box looks actually quite nice. It's got very limited information on the box in terms of what it actually does, what it does. It's got the website. Could see a QR code there. Model numbers made in China. And interesting, a smart way to open your door lock. And the same thing there on that. Interesting to see also the American US address. Obviously it's made in China, but made in PRC and compliant CE standards. It's got the basic quality standards, and we'll open it up. Packaging looks quite nice, as in the open it, you'd get like a box of chocolates or something, actually quite nice. And we'll just open this up and we'll see what we actually get in the box itself. First of all, presentation is quite good. I cannot fault something when I see a 5-year warranty on the unit itself. That's always a real positive. Again, it's got the QR code, making my life a lot easier. And what do we actually get here? So we get this in a variety of different languages and a catalogue. And same catalogue in a different language. So first of all, I suppose the impression would be this can be used in a variety of different ways. It does say it's a European standard lock cylinder, multiple ways to lock, 1-year battery and safety. And that's the idea. And this is what we actually get in the box itself. Keypad. And anybody used familiar with locks, that's probably the central locking part that we're quite familiar with. And this is the door handle inside. And what do we get as well? We got 3 RFID cards, and the idea would be as anybody going into an office would probably know that you can normally swipe it going in to an office. It'll just configure it. These can be configured in the event you lose them. You can connect it to this. And what else we got? And we've got special tools for actually locking and unlocking there, and a couple of what I would call Allen keys in the bottom here, security. So this is in essence, from an unboxing perspective, what do we actually get? What we'll do afterwards is actually set it up. So this is the Weblock electronic smart door. Solid. It feels solid. You certainly won't break that too easy, damage it. And I'm just thinking if you had a hammer or something, you'd take a bit of a knocking. The metal stuff is strong. It does have an IP rating again on it itself. So we'll set this up, have a bit more of a go with it there. One thing in here, there's digitals, and I believe there's actually batteries which will actually change, but we'll figure out how to update the batteries. I suspect it's the lock comes with those required 3AA, AAA batteries for itself. We'll set that up, have more of an idea. And again, it's got an ID code for here. Information is on there. CE standard, always good to see the CE standard, but probably personal notes is a 5-year warranty, and we'll figure out what's the rest of the units when we're physically setting it up. Thank you. As part of the setup, first of all, you need to change a couple of things there, insert some batteries. But what I'd suggest would be is to code on the back, just take a note of the code in the back itself. That allows you to get an idea, because it'll be required after when you're registered with the app. So the units up there at the now, one thing you'll notice, this screw is very important. This is probably the key. This is where actually you remove it from your own lock and the screw goes in there. We'll show that in a few moments. In essence, with the Allen key, remove the screw here. This part comes off, and you remove this physical panels for the thing, and 3 AA batteries go. Unfortunately, the batteries are not supplied, so before you do anything, you need to go off and get the 3 AA batteries, which is slightly smaller ones. Put that back in. The other part is on the handle itself. This goes in here when you have it, and this unscrews, so you can put this in afterwards from the other side, and the panel goes in. And this is the main key. In essence, when you have it, you tighten this screw here, and it just screws in, and that keeps it in place. But what I also want to just give a quick demonstration of is the lock itself. When you're putting it on, you can see the code. We'll just put in the code, and we'll unlock it. So it's unlocked. What you'll see is when I twist it, this particular middle part is actually moving. So that little key is the key, so it's moving. Okay, now it's timed out. What you'll find is, twisting it there, it does not move. From the inside, this particular part always moves. So coming to the door, so when you fit it in the door itself, that's going to twist around. That's actually the mechanism inside your locking system. That's just the mechanics, so in reality you don't need to know that information, but it's good to be aware of there. So once you connect it up there, you've got the keypad, you put it in. What you'll also do is just you're testing it, and you'll end up using something of the nature of the app itself. So the app itself is the WebLock app. What you do is you use the QR code on the box, scan it, and that will actually download the app itself. And within the app itself, it's got lots of information, and there's a different variety of doing. So there's a help button, help thing, which kind of gives you some information of the lock itself, the setting it up in the background. So quick questions and answers, and it's got a variety of other information. If you want to change the pin, you want to have a history of who's coming in, who's actually coming in the door itself. So there's a lot of information itself that'll advise you what's actually, I suppose, what's going on with the lock and is connected to it. And that's kind of where the lock itself. You don't necessarily need the lock straight away, but if you're trying to dial in remote, unlock it, change the pins, it's quite handy. We're now going to connect it on a standard European door lock itself. This is your standard door, familiar in most places, just your normal locking keys that you'd normally use traditionally, and that is the idea. In essence, what you're doing here with the touch supply tool, I'm just changing this so the screw comes out, and it comes with a supply tool. It's just a standard Phillips screw, and we'll just pop this out. And this is the key to getting the lock out. Keeping that there, and now what will actually happen is on the door itself, the bolt comes out. So that's actually what I've just taken out of my standard door. In reality, all I'm really going to do is replace it like for like. So if you look at the size, the shape, it does allow a little bit give on this side here if there's a thing. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to just put this particular part directly in, connect it back up, and that's how simple the lock change is. And we can see, and again, this particular lock, so I'll put this into here, and this is the idea there, and you can see how it fits in, and that's the installation complete. Obviously I have to just tighten a few screws and set it up there, the connection. Once the lock is in, don't forget to put that screw back on, and that's the important screw which holds everything in place, and just get it level there in the background. A couple of things to note. Earlier on we suggested there was a 5-year warranty, and I just wanted to reflag it. It's actually a 1-year warranty this particular product comes with. It actually says 2 years to register, but just being very clear, it is a 1-year warranty, not a 5-year, which I thought the thing was a bit misleading. The other good part is the Allen key which it comes with. I typically use my own set of Allen keys because I lose, etc., replace it. And again, with the Phillips screwdriver type thing, which comes with the unit itself, the good news from my perspective is, if you lose them or the batteries need to be changed in a year's time, I'll certainly have these lost, so that's quite good. On the RFID cards there at the moment is, they actually work straight away. So once you put it directly to the unit, it actually clicks it, so there's no registration number of them, so they just work. So if I do lose them, I can re-register it itself. Overall, the installation didn't take me that long to do it. I do need to tighten the screws, and I do need to put in a better order, but in reality it does actually work. And that's the overview. So for the WebLock, electronic smart door cylinder keypad PCB, 4.1. The one thing to be thinking, variety of uses. For me, one of the handy things is this is for the back door. So in essence, if I go out late at night, I can actually come back in without any keys from a social night out. Come back in, don't need keys. More importantly, when I'm on holidays, somebody can actually use the lock, let them in. But if it's an Airbnb or variety of, or an office that you want to restrict access directly to it, you can actually restrict access so somebody can come and go as required, so they can actually use their own methodology coming and going there. Installation, very easy. App, it's not as intuitive as I would have liked it itself there at the moment, but the mechanics, the physical thing, the strength of this seems quite solid. I don't have any proprietary tools, which is another big bonus for me. So thank you very much for the weblog details.